It's just non-stop, just like, oh, great. Look at that, quad down. You alright, kiddo?
Thanks, bud.
Get back on, you'll be alright. It's what I hate about quads. Woo! Flying W Trail, that's a great name, isn't it? Oh, what fun. Oh. Woo! Wow, fantastic. What a trail. That's great, great riding. Alright, oh. End of the line. I thought it was getting technical. Do you want to lead the way, Gabriele, seeing as you know where you're going around here a bit?
Yeah, I have an idea.
You don't?
No.
We'll figure it out. So what we've got here is a KTM 350 EXC F. And this is the 2018, that's the 2020. And I'm here with the boss of Alpine Stars, Gabriele, to go and test a bit of gear and have some fun on two wheels. Easy. I've never ridden this bike before. There's a good start. Let's just stored it. I remember those power lines because I did a video near there one time. So should we head down and then just head up there to the power line and see where we go? I'll follow you then. Yeah, so it's coming to the park here for the day to ride your dirt bikes. $5. $5. Maybe not the best toilets in the world, but you've got toilets here, you've got fire pits, you've also got some shaded areas. So yeah, for $5. Fantastic. Oh yeah, I know where we are. Alright, so Gabriele knows a loop from here, so head off. It's like there's quite a bit of staging up here, so we're likely to see some traffic. Probably not a lot though. Ooh, that was an old dirt bike. Look at that thing. That was like one of mine, my YZ400 or something. Oh, look at that. Quad down. Quad man down. You alright, kiddo?
Thanks, bud.
No worries, man. Yeah? Alright, kiddo, it happens. Alright, my friend, get back on, you'll be alright. Well done, buddy. My pleasure. It's what I hate about quads. I've seen a lot of people get effed up on quads. Because on a motorbike, you would not get beaten up like that. But those quads, they roll, they fall on top of you. Okay, now I've got to find Gabriele. But anyway, thankfully he was okay, and again, thankfully he was wearing protection, so good job, Mum and Dad. Easy trail. Might as well mix it up a bit. Now these little sharp rocks, sometimes you can really catch you out. So you've always got to proceed with caution and always just try and avoid. It might sound stupid, but sometimes you can get target fixation on something, which is really when you see a hazard and all you do is ride towards it. So riding a dirt bike also helps with that, I feel. Is instead of getting target fixation and hitting it, you do the opposite and get used to doing that. Helps you on the street too. Because at the end of the day, motorcycle, an engine, throttle, some wheels and brakes, it's all very similar whether it's dirt or street, so the actual riding of it is very, very similar. If you can ride one, you can ride the other. It's just a surface. But you know, like I said, dirt is always loose and the bike's always moving, so once you get used to that and you can learn to handle it, it'll help you in all kinds of road conditions, especially when it's tricky, low adhesion. And I've ridden all over the world and I've come across slippy roads, from my hometown to the other side of the world. They exist all over, and that can be from anything from just some gravel on the road to, oh yeah, this one looks great, Gorman Trail. Yeah, I'll give Gabriele just a little time here so I don't get a face full of rocks. Oh, let's go. Woo! Get into that lower RPM and just tractor it up. Oh yeah, look at this, tight. Woo! Wow. Wow, fantastic. What a trail. It's always helpful if you can just try to keep your momentum, and where you can stand on the pegs and help the bike over the obstacles. Brilliant. As we're going back to dirt to street, yeah, you get low adhesion all over the place. So when it's raining, of course, that's a given. But you know, like, sometimes you can just come to worn out tarmac that's really low adhesion. Sometimes it can be petrol or diesel related, or it can also, you know, be just like some gravel or some debris on the road. All of those things are going to make the bike slide and slip and cause you some kind of distress if you're not used to how to control it. So that's why another reason dirt biking is really good. And you don't have to get a big dirt bike. I know there's always some idiots that want to get the biggest and the baddest of everything, but you really don't have to do that with a dirt bike, because anything from a 125 CRF 4-stroke or the old XR80s and things like that are an absolutely brilliant machine just to get used to. Great bikes for the family, and then you can work up from there, get a 125, maybe get a 250. You know, you can build it up. One thing that dirt bikes are is that they're very tall, and sometimes that can also be off-putting, especially if you've got short legs. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't got the longest. I'm like, you know, fairly short legs. But the thing is about dirt biking, a lot of the time you only really notice you're so far high off the ground when you have to come to a stop. Rest of the time you're up on the pegs, you don't notice it that much, and that extra height is just the suspension working, so you can really just, you know, let the suspension do its job. And that's the reason why dirt bikes are so tall, is just got so much suspension. But then that allows you to ride stuff like this and then not actually have to feel every bump or shake yourself to death or shake your fillings out, which those like old bikes do. Now these are like fairly simple trails that we're riding right now, so you can actually do these on all types of bikes, but it's just easy on a dirt bike. And sometimes when it's easy, you can enjoy it more freedom. This is a nice loop. Look at that. So that's the freeway, that's the 5 freeway to my left, gas station, and a few bits where you can get some food, so we're not that far from supplies. And then you look this side and look where we are. Phenomenal. freedom we've got out here. And a busy freeway just in the distance. We've not got no traffic this way. Powerline Road. That was great. Fantastic. I just see nobody. Really lucky. I love the trail that comes through. See, there's a part of Gorman that I never knew existed. Yeah, great. Well, I'll follow you on the bits you know then. Well, there's a reason why it's called Powerline Road. I think we're back to this Corso being a two-laner. Yeah, so going back to the 350. I first rode a 350 in Sardinia, and what an amazing power plant it was. This bike's very, very similar. It's just like sometimes the 450s, and I wouldn't say the 450s are too much power, but they can also be quite aggressive power band. And the 250, sometimes you feel like you're just wringing its neck too much. Certainly as a more experienced rider, so 350 is a really nice compromise. It's a nice weight as well. I like the agility of the 352. I can see why these things are just so well liked and do so well around the world in competition. It's just even as a bog standard enduro bike, it's competitive. It's got some great components on it. It rides really easy, and confidence is inspiring for any rider, you know, which is what you want. I love bikes that you just kind of, the more you get to know them, the better you feel on them, the more you realize what you can do on them. And that's the beauty of dirt bikes, really, for me, is their weight and where you can take them. And what you find with road bikes is they're just not as concerned about weight in the same way, or where they put it sometimes, especially on those big adventure bikes. And that's what spoils them, riding them off-road and actually having the same kind of freedom you do with a bike like this. Is just the weight. Weight makes a huge difference to what you can do with a motorcycle. Doesn't sound like a lot, but even just having some panniers that are on the bike that are not really that heavy, and also you've not filled them to the brim with heavy stuff, makes a huge difference to a bike, of how it handles around corners, how it handles on the dirt. And that's just the panniers. So, you know, when you've got a bike that's got extra weight littered all over it, like the big BMW GS is really capable, and especially really capable in the right hands, but still, you put the panniers on, you put enough stuff to go away for a week or so, and those bikes are heavy. Look at that. So that was like a nice little technical section there, really coming down into some soft sand, and bike just almost glided through it. And this soft stuff here is really silty. Oh, I can't really see at the moment, so I'm just back off a little. But you know, sometimes that stuff can get soft and just be soft in particular areas. It's better now, I can see where I'm going. So yeah, like that soft stuff, sometimes you just got to power through it, and it's really easy to bury the front. And when you bury the front, the only one way of getting out of it, get your weight back off the front wheel and open the gas. Woo! Fun. Alright, I'll just back out of the dust a little. Wow, these trails. Yeah, no fatigue on my forearms either with this bike. Pretty easy going on the hands. That's always a good sign that a bike's set up well suspension wise as well, when you're not getting a lot of arm pump. That's because the bike's pretty easy to ride, easy to handle. Ooh, little drainage ditch there which could easily catch you out sometimes when you get your front wheel in them. So sometimes you've got to pick your place where you cross those things. And other times you get in one, you get like now when I get into a little one of these drainage ditches, sometimes you just got to stay in it. There's certainly a bit of everything here, like these little washboard bumps you can get used to. You get used to riding in sandy conditions. You've got the rocks, you've got some incline, you've got some downhill. Come out to a place like this, pick your poison, never try and take on anything that's going to get you into trouble, and if you do, you're not going to hurt yourself. You're just going to lay the bike down and, you know, just learn. Don't be put off by crashing a motorcycle either, because it's part of the learning process, unfortunately. And you don't have to do a lot of it, but you're going to do some of it. Okay, back in line. Woo! Ooh, that was close for Gabriele. Alright, gotta watch for those guys, because they were coming through and I was on their side and they were on our side. But anyway, all good. Flat Fanny Trail. What a great name. What do you think? Do you recognise anything?
Well,
Maybe if we take this, we might come on to something that we recognise. It seems very flat down here, doesn't it? So maybe we need to go over that side. Okay. Alright. Oh, that's not going to happen then. You want to go that way back or that way? Let's go that way. Wow. Oh wow, dead end. Is it dead end? No. Oh, jeez Louise. End of the line. I thought it was getting technical. Woo! Okay. Wow. Oh, that was a workout. Woo! Wow, even more impressed with this bike after that, because I'm not the best dirt biker, but it's making pretty light work of this real technical section. Just keeping my speed slow, trying to pick a line. On the pegs to just take out some of that bounce, and off we go. Oh, technical. Oh, probably wasn't the best choice of line there, but came out okay. Yeah, I think if you came down here and had a bike problem, you'd be on your own. Ooh, I think we're out the worst of it. Yeah. Well, that was certainly rocky down there. Bike did great, because that could have caused loads of problems. Oh my goodness, Gabrielle, that was 20 times more difficult than I expected it to be. Yeah, it was tough, wasn't it? But it's fun. Alright, so it looks like we went the wrong way on that dry riverbed. Fun though. Now it's much more loose. There's definitely a bit of hard stuff underneath this, so it's not too bad. And actually, after that really slow technical section there where definitely my body temperature went up, working the bike a bit more, it's just nice now to get a bit of breeze. Now yeah, if you've never ridden a dirt bike, get yourself on one. Definitely improve your riding skills, because just riding a dirt bike, the bike's always moving around underneath you. So you start to learn how to control slides easier than going on the street. You can do it on the track and things like that, but then speeds are a lot higher, and so is the risk and cost really in case when you crash. Whereas a dirt bike, they rarely get damaged when you fall. If you do, it's usually easy stuff like levers and handlebars and things like that, so nothing really too expensive. And depending on the bike you get, the dirt bike you get, usually they're pretty inexpensive to buy and to keep and to service. You don't have to buy a new one for a dirt bike. There's a lot of whoops here. Woo! Let's take this little trail. Yeah, so I was lucky. I was on a motorbike when I was a kid, and when you're a kid really all you can do is ride on the dirt, so I feel always happy on the dirt. That's why I always on my adventures I like to hit the trails and hit the dirt, because it's fun. I have no idea where we are.
Eventually end up in a place we know.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look here. Oh yeah, one-way trail, motorcycles. One way. Right, well hopefully we won't come across another vehicle. Brilliant, loving it. So who's been into MotoGP this year? Isn't it been incredible? What a season. Starts off super strange due to COVID. When it finally gets going, world champion Marc Marquez breaks his arm in the first race after a heroic ride through the field, and that's just left the whole championship wide open. And I don't know why this year, but it doesn't seem to have the same consistency of riders at the front. It seems to be a bit more of an open playing field. And the two bikes this year that look exceptional is the KTM and then also the Suzuki, which having those two manufacturers up front in MotoGP is honestly a refreshing change, because it's been Honda and Yamaha, Honda and Yamaha, Honda and Yamaha for so many years, and now the might of KTM. They're looking superb, and they've not even been in the MotoGP Championship that long. I think four years, and they've already won a MotoGP race. They won one with their rookie rider Brad Binder. So just amazing. The amount of talent that's in there, and then also the bikes, very evenly matched. I think Dorna have done a great job having the one make tyre, and then also just make sure they're going to keep going this way, and also the fixed ECU, which just seems to have made the whole bikes in the MotoGP field much closer, much more consistent. So if you've not been checking it out, check out MotoGP. It's some phenomenal racing going on this year, and riders from all nationalities and on all types of bikes. So great championship. I have to be honest and say I miss my racing, but we did this trail once already, I think. Should we continue? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're on a one way. What am I talking about? We can't even turn around anyway. I'm a fan of also Supercross, and this year's Supercross series just seemed like the weirdest championship with no fans in the stadium. And yeah, it just seemed like such a weird scene, because that's almost what makes the Supercross so good, is the fans being on top of the action, and then also the atmosphere that's generated from that, you know. And then not having that seemed to really make a huge difference to that championship. Of it's been spectacle, has it been a spectacle, and the razzmatazz of it. Whereas motocross just doesn't have that. It's a lot more raw, and for me, I do love motocross. Flying W Trail, that's a great name, isn't it? Flying W is usually when you fly off the bike, legs flying everywhere. Oh, what fun. Oh. Little soft there. Love those bold corners. And now it's getting a little brighter, and it's getting a little bit more difficult to see when it's dusty. We just stay a little bit back, and the dust has already settled pretty much by the time I get there, so it's not too bad if I'm just 5 seconds back or so. Even though Gabriele knows Gorman pretty well, and I've been quite a few times, we're trying some different trails, and hopefully we'll find something soon. Stowed it then. It's what you love about these electric start bikes now. Is kicking one of these dirt bikes up used to be a bit of a pain in the butt, and sometimes the 450s, oh, the 4-strokes, when they first came out, when they got hot, they wouldn't start. They just wouldn't start. So the new electric start version, oh yes. Don't get me wrong, I like kickstarting bikes, but when you're tired, hot, fatigued, it's the last thing you want to do. And especially when your bike won't start, which can be the case sometimes. So yeah, electric starts on dirt bikes, I never thought I'd see the day when I was a kid, but here they are. And this model here, it's by KTM. It actually has mirrors and some turn signals on it, which actually we've taken off at the moment, but because it's not actually being utilised on the street. But this is a street legal motorcycle with a license plate and a headlight. So if you had one of these on the street, I can't imagine wanting to go anywhere without wanting to jump off a curb or pull a wheelie. Super fun. Oh, it's been a while since I've ridden with somebody too, so that's a nice feeling, is riding with a friend and riding together is super fun. Both enjoy the experience. Oh yeah, down there, that's where all the hill climbs are now. I recognise some of that. Whoa, little kicker. Now the KTM bike that I'm riding, they've been doing exceptionally well for many years in the dirt bike area, and also in the adventure market. So they're really now doing well in MotoGP as well. They've just literally got all corners covered on the motorcycle market, and they're doing exceptionally well and putting up the fight to people like Ducati and Honda and Suzuki, who have a lot more resources. Great company, great work ethic, very competitive bikes. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic.
Beautiful trails.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's get in the bottom of here. See if we can find a different path out. Well, I've no idea where we are. I guess that's Gorman for you. Let's have a look. Staging area. I think that one over there. Which do you think, Gabriele? Do you see your truck? I think there's a good chance it's that one, but we'll go to that one first, eh? Excuse me, sir. Yep. Wonder if you could help me. I'm looking for the south entrance that's like near Smoky Bear Road.
Okay.
Do you know where that?
Stay on this road.
Yeah.
Main road. It's the main road. Follow it all the way out. You're gonna go out through the kiosk.
Oh right. Okay. So this.
So you can go out.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you like this, then don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell. But most important, whenever you can, just go for a ride.
That's great riding. It's just non-stop, just like, oh, great.